Hey, how's it, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Many people who report strange lights are not lying, they are not crazy, and they are not always careless observers. Sometimes they are simply unfamiliar with how extraordinary the real sky actually is. And that unfamiliarity is what I am bringing to the fore. Because when human expectation collides with an unfamiliar sky, ordinary celestial objects can suddenly feel impossible. Most modern people barely know the sky at all. We know screens, traffic lights, logos, brands, and phone notifications. But many people cannot identify Venus, Jupiter, Orion, Sirius, or even the direction west after sunset. That is not an insult, it's just the way culture performs. For most of human history, people lived under the sky. Farmers knew it, sailors navigated it, travelers depended on it. Today, many people experience the heavens only occasionally and often through polluted skies, city lights, or social media clips filled with dramatic music and captions. And my grievances are not aimed at anyone who can't go outside. My grievances are aimed at the people who look up and then come up with their own explanations as to what, why, how, who, when. They don't do their own research. It's easy. So, when an unusually bright object appears in low twilight, people notice, and sometimes they panic. Venus and Jupiter have probably caused more UFO reports than almost any other celestial objects. And honestly, I can understand why. Venus can appear astonishingly bright. It can shine through haze, through thin clouds, even through bright twilight. People often assume if stars are so visible, then planets should look like stars. But Venus refuses to behave that way. It dominates. And Jupiter carries its own strange quality, steady, calm, almost unnaturally fixed compared to the twinkling stars nearby. Together, these two planets can create genuinely startling sights in the evening sky, especially for observers who have never tracked them over time. The sky changes predictably, and that is the key to understanding. Not random appearances, not chaotic movement, but the patterns I keep talking about. We start here on the 26th of May, 2026. Venus and Jupiter appearing separated in the western evening sky. Orion was still visible. Stars like Betelgeuse and Rigel still frame the scene. But Venus already stands out strongly. Then, by the 9th of June, the geometry had changed. There was big hype online, and I won't even tell you what was being said in real life. Venus had become even more dominant in the twilight. And by the 11th of June, the shift was unmistakable. Orion had already dropped below the horizon, and Canopus and Sirius still remains visible. Yet Venus overwhelmed the whole entire western sky, not subtly, dominantly. And this is precisely why Venus has been mistaken for UFOs for generations. because it does not behave the way people expect a star to behave. Here is a critical point. The objects changed position exactly as celestial mechanics dictates. Night after night, week after week, Venus shifted, Jupiter shifted, the background constellations shifted. Not random, but orbital. Because if mysterious lights were truly random visitors, we would expect randomness. Instead, what we observe is structure. The sky behaves like a clock, and clocks are understandable. Now, here is where things become psychologically interesting. Humans are excellent at judging movement across landscapes, but the sky removes our normal reference points. Against darkness, bright objects can appear larger, closer, moving, hovering, or even following us. Atmospheric turbulence can make planets shimmer violently. Heat layers distort light. Clouds create strange halos. Eye fatigue causes drifting effects. Even cameras misinterpret reality. In some of my photographs, Venus produced vertical light streaks and glowing artifacts through the lens and sensor. The camera was not seeing truth, it was interpreting intense light. Humans do the same thing. Observation is not automatic understanding. This is why repeated observation is pertinent. One of the most common UFO claims is simple: it moved. But movement in the sky is complicated. Earth rotates, clouds move, observers move. Atmospheric refraction bends light. Eye perception shifts constantly. Even trained pilots have experienced optical illusions involving bright stationary lights. And once expectation enters the picture, the brain starts building its own stories. A bright planet becomes a craft, a drone, a hovering object, an intelligence. Not because people are foolish, but because human perception is vulnerable to context. That should humble us. Skepticism is simply the willingness to ask, what else could this be, before jumping to extraordinary conclusions. Because, and say it with me, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. If somebody claims that bright object is alien technology, then we should first eliminate Venus, Jupiter, aircraft, satellites, drones, atmospheric distortion, optical effects, and observational error. That is not closed mindedness, that is intellectual discipline. Science is not a collection of approved beliefs. Science is a method for reducing the chances of fooling ourselves. And yet, there is something poetic here too. Venus and Jupiter are not strangers, they are ancient companions of our humanity. Every civilization watched them. Jupiter wandered slowly through the constellations while empires rose and collapsed beneath it. Long before modern arguments about UFOs, human beings were already looking upward, asking, what is that light? The question never changed, only our tools improved. This is why ongoing observations by whomever matters so much. Repeated observation transforms mystery into understanding. And strangely enough, understanding does not destroy wonder, it deepens it. You can ask me. Once you realize what you are actually seeing, the sky becomes even more extraordinary. That bright, mysterious object is no longer just a light, it is a planet, a real world, moving through space with precision while Earth itself rotates beneath your feet. That is astonishing. No aliens required. So, next time somebody points towards a bright object low in the western sky and says, "Could that be a UFO?" Maybe, but maybe it's Venus, maybe it's Jupiter. Maybe it is a reminder that modern humanity has become disconnected with the naked eye sky our ancestors once knew intimately. Because now the lights above us are not random mysteries, they are patterns, mechanics, worlds, distances, history, physics, and time. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please stay safe, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.